Jazz is the philosophy, and what is jazz? I don't think any of us are really qualified to answer that completely.
Austin, Texas is an ever-growing city. Within its city limits, it houses ample culture, business, technology, art, music, and schools. Within these walls house Austin Community College's Jazz Ensemble. The band is led by Dr. Stephen Saunders. Dr. Stephen Saunders has been teaching for 28 years and has called ACC home for 21 years.
Stephen Saunders, associate professor here at ACC in the Department of Music. This is I believe my 22nd year. It might be my 23rd. I may have lost count, but I think it's my 22nd year here at ACC.
He recently took over as music school director and spends his Tuesday evenings conducting the Jazz Ensemble. Some of his students include Stephen Jablon on trombone.
So I'm Stephen Jablon. I play the trombone, and I think this is my 5th or 6th semester. I'm losing count.
John Coop on drums.
My name's John Coop, and I play drums in the stage ensemble.
John comes from a rock and roll background, and he's a bass player also, and that's what he really has been doing. And I remember at one particular concert, some of his relatives, I can't remember if it was grandparents or parents, they were just so thrilled that he was playing music that wasn't metal. They were excited about that. That's the background he comes from, but he's also really dedicated. He takes the time to really listen to the recordings I send them, John is a great young man, great student. He's just an example of all the other students that we have in the ensembles.
And Evan Bloch on vocals.
My name is Evan Bloch, and I do the bass vocals in the stage ensemble, and I've been doing it for about a year to a year and a half now.
Evan came into the band last spring, and he was out this summer, and he came back this fall. He's classically trained. He's just beginning to learn how to swing, and he's doing a good job, really good job with his songs this semester. You could tell he was new to it last spring, I think, and I've already seen him starting to take some strides, learning the kind of rhythmic feel and inflections. He still has a beautiful voice, which he's developed as a classical singer.
I've been practicing music for about 12 years of my life. I was in choir when I was a kid, so that's always been my bread and butter.
This semester, the band's goal is to practice and prepare for their first live performance at Kick Butt Coffee, a local coffee shop that puts the spotlight on local artists.
There you go, good. Full band, keep on going this time. B, 1, 2, 1, 2.
At times, working on a limited time frame can be challenging. The players struggle to sync with one another on some of the more difficult pieces.
Oh yeah, I feel anxiety in regards to remembering words, making sure that I know when to come in and whatnot. So it's the usual. You get this kind of like bubbly feeling in your stomach, and you can either feed off of it or it'll just like make you more nervous.
There you go, good. Full band, keep on going this time. B, 1, 2, 1, 2.
We definitely face some problems, and one thing for sure is playing loud. We love playing loud, and we do not know how to be quiet, and it's a good thing. I think at least it shows we all are excited to be here, but wow, we really need to be a little quieter. I'd say hi for sure.
The overall consensus is that the band needs more time together in order to feel fully prepared for their performance.
Well, Kick Butt's interesting this semester because we haven't performed yet this semester. Kick Butt's our first performance. We'll do a performance on December, I think it's 11th. It's the last Tuesday of the semester. We generally play 3 times out, but this time, since Tom Huzak retired, I had like 2 weeks to get the other band ready, and so things haven't quite worked schedule-wise. So Kick Butt generally is our best gig. We're going to see what it's like this semester. This will be the first time they play out. I think there are enough players in there who've done this that it's not a big deal, but stage fright is always an issue when you play out in front of people.
Our first show is coming up, the Kick Butt show. I'm a little nervous because last semester we had our show a little earlier, so I'm kind of nervous with the amount of time, having so much time, what that could do with us. I think it should be better, obviously, but I'm still a little nervous because I've never had that much time to rehearse something, so I'm kind of worried if that's gonna make I don't know where it's gonna go, but I'm pretty excited for it though. I'm really excited for it. So
if it's just me and 2 other players, it can get scarier because you're so exposed. But in the big band, it's not so much that they'll screw up, is that they'll want to hide and they may not play their parts out. They may try and play softly so that no one hears if they mess up. And then the balance goes off, and then they're not supporting the sound, and tuning may go off. And so it's always an interesting, and plus any live performance of any kind, something's going to happen that's out of the ordinary. I haven't told them yet. Most of them who played there already know, but we always flip our setup, and that throws them off. Just a physical change between, okay, he used to sit on my right, and now he sits on my left, and now we're backwards. And I expecting to hear the drum out of this ear, but now he's over there. That can be, every little anything can have an effect. And again, it's flexibility. Live music, something's going to go wrong, something's going to go weird, something's going to happen. Someone's going to trip and fall in the audience and break their coffee cup or whatever, something's going to happen that's going to prevent you from focusing on what you're supposed to focus on. And that's a good exercise. That's why we do this. Part of the reason why we play out is so that they have that experience. And so that someday they can walk onto a stage where there's, 1,000 people in the audience and they don't feel unusual about it. So.
You are here, so am I. Maybe millions of people go by, but they all disappear from you.
What I do in the ensemble is I sing, for the most part. I really enjoy the performance aspect, and what I've really gotten out of this is just being able to perform in front of a live audience with a big band and reading music, like,
I don't know if we're in the right or in a crowded afternoon. You are here, so am I. Maybe millions of people go by, but they all disappear.
Dr. Pete Rodriguez is currently a professor at Houston-Tillotson University in Austin. He has played with the legendary likes of Eddie Palmieri, Bebo Valdez, Celia Cruz, and Tito Puente. Dr. Rodriguez talks with the ensemble and provides an outside perspective. He also offers further education at his university once the students are ready to transfer.
A lot more legato.
First comments were that everything we need to do on stage needs to be exaggerated. So like you would if you're an actor, you have to exaggerate your movements. We have to exaggerate all the dynamics, all of the articulations and accents and so forth, so that the audience members feel the contrast.
So I feel like always exaggerate.
Because that's one thing I've always worked on with my band, and it's a constant effort. Just we get lazy, we're human beings, and we don't want to play as loud or soft as we can. They like to play loud, they don't like to play soft. That's been an issue since the beginning of the band.
Dr. Rodriguez is invited back to ACC to perform a master class in jazz quartets. He and Dr. Sodders hope that this performance inspires the students to step up their future performances. Pete takes time to work one-on-one with some of the members. He even breaks them up in smaller groups to hone in their sound. After sitting in with Dr. Rodriguez, the band finds new stride in their steps to becoming a single unit.
volver a vivir. La pasión y el calor de tu amor, otro amor que me hiciera sentir. Yo no sé dónde será, de su amor. ¿Quién será? ¿Quién será?
Bass and drums. Alright, this is going to be like a...
The day has finally arrived. The band gathers and squeezes into the cozy venue at Kick Butt Coffee.
Alright, I'll count this off one again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are the stars out tonight? I don't know if it's cloudy or bright, 'cause I only have eyes for you, dear. Maybe bright, but I can't see a thing in the sky, 'cause I only have eyes for you. I don't know if we're in a garden or in a Sunday afternoon. You are here, so am I. Maybe millions of people go by, but they all disappear from your or in a Sunday afternoon. You are here, so am I. Maybe millions of people go by, but they all disappear from you. I only have
We're so misunderstood and overlooked, you know. We need to So this, I'm going to introduce you to Stephen Jablon, who's going to play another Nestico tune called "God Bless the Child." Hi, Steve. We're now going to invite our longest tenured singer with us, right? Sandy Singletary has been with us for quite some time. She's awesome. I hope you enjoy it. Sandy. gigantic rhythm section we have here starts in the back with Mr. John Coop.
Yes,
Daniel Smith on guitar. Sandy Peters at the keys. All of our bass players. The guy holding the bass right now, Vance Hazen. Frank Prater. And the man who owns that bass, Anderson Roy.
Dr. Sodders errs on the side of relief, knowing that his band is far better and more prepared than they were at the start of the semester.
We invite our longest tenured singer with us, right? Sandy Singletary has been with us for quite some time. She's awesome. I hope you enjoy it. Sandy.
I do admire Dr. Sodders as our instructor. He's definitely consistent. He definitely has a passion for what he does, and I think if if he wasn't so consistent, if he didn't care the way he does about the band, I don't know that I would come back semester after semester.
The best advice Dr. Sodders has always given me was, you know it better than you think you do. You know it better than you think you do, so stop thinking you don't know it. Just do it. Like, I mean, that's all he's always said. Just sing the song. Just sing the song.
When you see a student who's applied themselves, I'm emotional, I'm old. When you see a student who's worked so hard to get, I don't think my students have ever seen me cry, but when you see a student who's worked so hard to improve, and then you start seeing the evidence, and you start noticing this kid is a player now. You know, if he wants to pursue this, he could do it, you know. I think it's not a pride thing. I'm happy to have helped. I know he's gotten help from lots of other places too, but I'm happy to have had an impact on that. That makes me, in that part, it's not being proud that, hey, I made this player. It's being proud that I could contribute to that.